Okay, Tommy, so listen, thanks very much for doing the interview, and it's a fantastic pleasure for us to see this. This is amazing. But before we get on to this, we could just could you just tell us a little bit about your own background? Where were you born?
I was in Costello's Lane, but down the mall, the place down the mall, I don't know the name of it, you know.
That was kind of like the
It's more or less, more or less like Airmount, you know.
And then you were brought up in Costello's Lane.
Costello's Lane, yeah.
And what was Costello's Lane like at that stage?
I tell you one thing, the people up there were they were real neighbours. That was during the war years now, you know, and they were real neighbours. And most of my father included, most of the men up were in the Irish Army at the particular time. And there were, after a while anyway, there were 10 of us in the family. There was 6 girls and 4 boys. And that's the way we were.
And when you said most were getting, is that because the barracks was next to your house?
Yeah, well, the barracks was next to our house, and my 2 uncles were in the army as well. My uncle Tommy, who was he was in the Yellow Road band and the Barrack Street band, and my uncle Jack was the same. You know, all my uncles were in either the Horse band, the Barrack Street band, or the Yellow Road band, the Thomas Francis Mayor band. Yeah.
And would you, like, did you have family then before that? Did you have family that were in the Second World War and that kind of thing, or the First World War?
Well, I couldn't go back that far now, to be honest about it. But I know my father's father, he worked up in the quarries up in Bilberry. Yeah, so.
And what were they quarrying there? Was it stone?
Just the stone up there, yeah. That was it.
And they were Kavanaghs, were they?
Well, Kavanaghs, yeah.
And what was your mother's name? What was your mother's family?
My mother's name is Simpson.
Simpson.
Yeah. Sure, there's some of them in the band on the Yellow Road now and in the Barrack Street band.
Yeah, I've heard Simpsons.
Yeah,
I've often heard
yeah.
their name mentioned.
Yeah.
And you were never inclined yourself to join the band, or
anything? I was tempted once, but I love football. And my brother joined the band, all right, Paddy. So he was, and they didn't join anything. But John died while he was young, when he was 10 years of age. You know, so that's it.
Okay. And then you said loved your football. What did you play, soccer?
I played soccer. Yeah, I played for Maryville, and first I played for Corinthians while I was under 18, and I have a photo upstairs, and it's real ancient. You want to see the fellas?
Yeah, look at that afterwards.
Yeah, okay.
And what position did you play?
Huh?
What position?
Any place he'd let me.
Oh, don't be modest now. Where did you play?
Well, Maryville started. I played full back,
Okay.
and I done all right.
So were you a tough fullback?
Oh, I was by.
Break a few legs.
I never broke anybody's leg now, but I go in for the tackle now, you know.
You'd have to.
Yeah, you'd have to.
And were you a left footer or a right footer?
I was a right footer, but at the particular time, Eddie McElvinney and them were up in Kilcoan at the time, and Johnny Barnes was the team manager, and he was the fella in charge of the water, you know what I mean? And he saw me playing for Maryville, and he invited me up, and I was up there, and I was training with Jack Hunt and Jack Fitzgerald and all them fellas, and I used to leave me standing in the sprints. But there were no intermediate football up there. It was only just the first team, so I went back to Maryville then again, you know. So.
And did you ever play for Waterford?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't, because, you know. Well, I went back to Maryville. We won out the area final. We played Bows in the area final, and we beat him 2-1. But it was 1-1 with a few minutes to go, and they got a penalty, and no one had taken it, so I took the penalty and I buried it. Thomas Fortner wouldn't even take the penalty, so we were playing Dunmore Celtic from Dublin in the quarter final of the Junior Cup, and we were bet 3-2. But we got 2 penalties during the match, and Thomas Fortner took the 2 of them and he put the 2 of them out wide, and I was like an antichrist going home because he wouldn't let me take one.
You obviously were able to take them.
Yeah, I was, yeah, for
And you were
sure.
able to take the pressure as well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you can't deal with pressure when it matters. You won't do nothing.
So come here, when you were playing soccer and all that, where was Maryville's pitch? I never heard of it.
No, we had no pitch as such. Most of the games were in Osier Park and where Bowes are now, Polebury. Yeah. And that was only a dump. You know, at a particular time, it was a dump at that particular time, but they just put grass seed or something on it. And in the summer, the dust down there, you'd be murdered with the dust in the summer. You know, so Osier was the only pitch, and that wasn't great either, like, you know what I mean? Because all the games used to be there.
And was most of the fellas from up around that area, top of the town area, up around Barracks Street area?
They were, yeah, sure. Alfie Hale, and you know, they're all in my age group. Like, you know, Alfie Hale, Shamie Code, Pat O'Neill, Dan O'McAvoy, you know. Most of them now are in my age group, you know.
So anyway, you obviously, where did you meet your wife?
When I see now. She was following me everywhere anyway. She always saying that now. Herself and Madeleine Doyle. And if there's I go to the picture, she'd be there.
Were you fighting over you?
Huh?
Were you fighting over you?
Oh, I wouldn't say it to her. I wouldn't say it to her. Go here. I don't even know why she went with me, because I hadn't the knee and arse of me trousers.
So, where did you meet her?
What?
Where did you meet her?
I don't know. I think that's in the Savoy. I'm not sure. You know.
She might tell us.
Oh, yeah, she'll ask her after, yeah. But anyway, I was waiting for her one night down at the bus stop, and it was raining, you know, over at St. John's. You know the little lane there, John's Lane. I was waiting around the corner there, and my mother came out of the bus with her anyway. I told you he wouldn't be there, didn't I? And I came out around the corner. That's the way it was.
So she smiled when she saw it.
Yeah, she had a smile on her, like.
So anyway, where did you work, by the way?
I worked on first of all, well, I was 14, I got a job at Matty Welch's. Well, I left school. There were about 60 in the class up in Mount Sion, and we were getting over it. That's all Brother Murphy was doing. He had us singing all day. Love, cuss, clues, sulig. No, the boys used to go to sulig. Well.
And then, you said you got your first job when you were 14. Where did you go?
Matty Welch's in Georgia Street.
What was that?
That was a pub grocer shop. There's right over right, nowhere. Herons used to be right opposite. The shop is still there, but there's no one in it. Like, you know, there's still a right shop there.
Oh, that was the man that was the...
Yeah. But I worked there, and but sure, I was a messenger by there. And then I used to bottle stout for him, and I never drank in my life, but I used to have to soak the thing to come through. You see, and when I delivered the messages, then the women were coming in and they were complaining that I was drinking and there was a smell of drink off me, and I never drank in my life. And that's the way it was. Yeah, you know, so there were 4 things and you'd have to suck them to get it going, like, you know. So that's the way it was.
And then after that, then where did you go?
But I was there one day, and my mother says to me, "Will you just?" She had a book in Herons. Look, there's 2 shillings left, she said, on the pram. You see, will you bring it down? And I said, yeah, I'll bring it into your man. So I went into your man anyway, and I handed him the book. And he used to have cups then at that particular time. He put the money in it, and he pulled the thing in it, up. Yeah, and upstairs. After a while anyway, he came back. And he looked at it. God, he said, the pram is paid for. I said, how is the baby? I said, I'm grand, thanks.
The pram obviously wasn't for you, anyway.
What?
The pram wasn't for you.
No.
And come here, you were a messenger like going around, what
Yeah.
was Waterford like at that time?
What was it like? Sure, it was busy, very busy, but everybody, if they weren't walking, they had a bike. There were hardly no cars, you know, that kind of way. I had a messenger by his bike, and what's this now I used to say? Messenger boy wanted a boy as strong as a horse to pull a bike as big as a car. That's the way it was, boy.
But where was you to deliver to? Was it mostly up towards Newtown or where?
Yeah, every place, any place, anybody that had money, you know. And it used to be heavy too, because sometimes the bike could be going up in the air to be so many messages in it, you know. And when you get up, and if you got up on the bike, then you'd be like John Wayne on a horse.
And then obviously the port was very busy at that time.
It was, yeah. Sure. It was very busy, but mostly the Rockabill and what's the Great Western. They were the two busy ones. But I used to sell papers then of a Sunday. I used to sell the Empire News, the Chronicle and the Graphic. They were Sunday papers. And if they weren't in of a Sunday, they'd be asking you they used to come in on one of them two ships, you know, that kind of way. And they were English papers. And we used to try and sell them of a Monday. I'd be going around to the pubs of a Monday trying to sell them. And you'd sell them too, because the people weren't getting much information, like, you know what I mean? So that's the way it was.
I never heard of those papers.
Didn't you? Yeah. Oh, sure, I don't know. I was only a young fella. That's the way it was.
And what would you just get? Would you get a percentage?
Yeah, I get. One fella used to get. He'd be the agent, like, you know what I mean, and he might hand me 100, and I get so much out of that then. And my mother would take it off me when I go home.
That was important.
It was important. Sure. Well, there were a big crowd in the house then. There was nothing to eat, like, you know what I mean. Very little to eat, because I think the father used to only send over. I think the money used to only come every month, and there were 10 of us in the house, and there were none of the girls were working age either, like, you know.
And so anyway, when you got married, then did you move out to St. John's Park?
No, we lived down the quay, over what's the name? Oh, jeez, nice. There's what's this now is the name of it? When I asked Maisie.
We'll ask her afterwards.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah, well, I forget the name of the shop anyway. We were living over that, you see. Dominic Deegan and the wife was underneath us, and we were on the top place, you see. And we had 2 children at the time. We had John and Tommy. And John was about three now, and Tommy was about 1.5. And during the night anyway, all smoke came up through it. Dominic Deegan was out there lighting the fire, and it must have burned through the boards or something. And all smoke came up through it. And we were out on the quay with the 2 children at 5:30 in the morning. And the corporation came along. So shortly after that, then we got the house out here. You know.
But you were lucky even because you weren't killed.
Yeah, no, well, we weren't lucky, you know what I mean? But I meant to say we could have smothered, you know, that kind of way, you know, but only for. See, there were only one room for Dominic Deegan and we were the same upstairs, only one room, so they were able to tell us, you know, well, if they hadn't to wake up, we mightn't have waken up, you know, that kind of way.
And then you came out here then, what was it like out here at that stage?
Sure, all this place was real open, you know what I mean? And there were no walls or no nothing. Sure, we built them between ourselves, like, you know what I mean?
And you were saying that the field behind here was saying Father Pat's field?
Father Pat's field, yeah.
And then, up on Father Pat's field then, there was a playground, was there?
Yeah.
Did you create?
No, there were just fields up there, but there were one field up there then, and at that particular time, Nipper Doyle and Anthony Dodger O'Brien, he's just living there. You know, he's a neighbour of ours. they were running the Johnville Football Club, and they asked me would I go up with them, and I said I will, you know. So I went with them anyway, and we had no pitch at the time, like, you know what I mean. But we were negotiating with Mr. Keneally, you know what I mean. And eventually he got us the pitch, and then there were some great men out here then.
So you were involved in Johnville from the start then?
Yeah, from the I wasn't. See, they were in Oja at the. They had, they were in Oja maybe 5 or 6 years before that, and were looking after schoolboys teams, and that's how we really got the pitch up here. You know what I mean? So.
And did you get involved in training or that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, sure. But down through the year, sure, I won leagues up there underage, you know what I mean? The forces in there and whatever. Underage and under 18. And I won they didn't win it since. I won the Premier League, and there was not the Arda Cup. Oh, the Arda Cup, yeah. We won that. That was the first double senior that Johnville won. You know what I mean? But Major Code was looking after the team before me, and they won him and I don't know who else, but they won 7 Munster Cups, you know.
Well, I mean, now the club is very much associated with this area, isn't it?
It is, yeah, but it's kind of gone downhill since them times, like, you know what I mean. But then again, that's what happens, you know.
Down,
yeah. Sure, Bows were the same. They were up and now they're down, you know, that kind of way. And the Villa is up, you know, and they're up now, you know.
Yeah. And so you got involved in that. But tell me, at that time when you first moved down here, I mean, there was no facilities, there was no community centre, there was no...
No, there were nothing. There were nothing out here.
I mean,
we used to, well, we're going to Mass. There was a shed belonged to the, it was like a shed anyway, belonged to the nuns over at the back of the school. That's where we used to have Mass. You know what I mean? And that was it.
And then how did things get, who organised, how did things get going out here?
Yeah, sure I can't tell you how things got going, but I know we used to pay in so much every week to the church, you know what I mean? And that's the way it was, you know.
Okay, and now I'm going to fast forward you on an awful long time, right up to recently.
Yeah.
When did you start on this project? Because this is an amazing project here.
About 13 years, 14 years ago. Between 13 and 15 years ago.
And did you ever, I mean, like in your work life, did you ever do anything like this, or was this just...
No, you see, this what gave me the idea was this. Well, I was working in Matthew Welch's in Georgia Street. I used to have to bring his grub down to his sister and his father every Tuesday, you know. And I used to be down around the tower down there, and I used to be imagining things, you know, that kind of way, about what Waterford looked like in the old days and everything else. And then I started going around, well, I'd be going to the pictures. I go home the Castle Street way, and I see the castles up that way. But they weren't like what they are now. They were in bits, like, you know what I mean? There were a lot of renovations done over the years, like. I think even with Reginald's Tower, it was done in '67, and again at the turn of the century, you know. So that's what gave me really the idea.
So you were kind of looking at all these places.
Yeah.
It was in the back of your head.
The back of my head, yeah. And then you know, and I said, if you had them all together now, I was saying to myself. And then I made Reginald's Tower first, and I had no intentions of doing that else. And I said, God, it looks lonesome. I said, son. And that's the way it was, like, you know. So.
And so you did one. What was after Reginald's Tower?
The Colbeck Street, you know, they're the Danish towers up there. They're all the Danish towers, and they're the English towers, you know, all those ones. Yeah.
And did you go to old maps and old drawings, or how did you?
No, I didn't. Just done them all out of my head. What I saw while I was young, okay. You know, that kind of way, or what I thought I saw.
But I mean, I noticed, like, for example, Christ Church would be different design.
Yeah, that's right, because that'd be the first Christ Church.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Medieval.
Yeah, medieval kind. That's the way I wanted to kind of do things. You know, that kind of way. I didn't want anything kind of modern. Yeah.
And I mean, obviously this is a labour of love, and like, have many people seen it?
They had the gathering here last year, and there were hundreds of people came here. The place was nearly wore out, sure. I was wondering, Saturday and Sunday, I was wondering where the people were coming out. I didn't get a bit late for 2 days.
It's a fantastic collection. And I mean, have you stopped?
Huh?
Have you stopped?
I had to stop because she'd kill me if I did, and then she can't even hang out to watching in comfort. If I fall over them walls again, she said, I'll kill you.
That's the reason why you've and could you not go move on to somewhere else? Like,
Hang on now. I'm an old fella, you know now. I'm not young. You're asking me when I was young. Now, I'm an old fella now, and that's it.
But it's a brilliant collection, and listen, thanks very much for letting me see it. Well, can I ask you something else too, just about your I mean, was there any of this kind of, like, you know, the way, was there any kind of tradition in Waterford for that kind of stonework that you remember? You know, people that used to do
No, but
walls or anything?
my uncle Jack now is very good at, you know, with wood, and he used to make things with woods, and I used to always looking at the things that he used to make, like, you know what I mean, pictures, and you know, and he'd all the different designs he'd have around the picture, you know, all in wood. He was very good at it, you know.
So there's like that craft
Yeah.
stuff is in your family?
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, there was a lot of trades way back too, like tinsmiths and all that kind of stuff.
They were, yeah.
Which are kind of gone now.
Yeah, but sure, Daddy Shea, that's what we used to call. He used to make barrels down just at the end of Costello's Lane there. He was the first house on the Yellow Road.
So
So,
he was a cooper.
a Cooper, yeah.
And would that be for beer or was it for fish or what?
I think it used to be mostly for blackberries at that particular time. They used to send them away, like, you know.
That's amazing. And can you remember any other old crafts like that that used to happen on water?
Well,
What about ropes? They used to do rope making, wasn't it? Well, that was probably back before your time.
oh yeah, I'd say so. I might be old by now. Hang on now. But I tell you something else. They were saying here that a herd of goats up the rock, they said, for 200 years.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, during the war years, there were one goat up the rock, and I think there's the Codys owned him off of the Red Road, and he only had one horn. You know what I mean? That's the only goat. And we used to go up past the Red Iron Bridge. You know, while we were young, we used to go out there. I never saw a goat. But then, during the war, if there were goats up there, they'd be ate. I'm telling you straight now, and that's no lie.
And would you walk out that way much?
Yeah, we would. We went every place. We go over to Ferrybank. There's a mill over in Ferrybank too. I think there's a kind of a. It was run by one of them wheels, you know. So there's a mill over there, and we used to be over there as well. I think there's somebody living in that now.
Okay. There was a train, wasn't there? There was a train station in the, you know, where the foundry used to be. I think way back.
The trains used to back in and out there.
Yeah.
You know, that's right. They used to. Now whether they were delivering stuff to the foundry or not, but they used to back in and out there. Yeah.
I saw old photographs of it.
Yeah. Sure, the trains used to go to Limerick over the Red Bridge.
And have you been out on the Greenway yet?
Out we are now.
The new Greenway that they're making?
No, I
On
haven't.
the track?
No, I haven't. No,
Okay.
I haven't.
Anything you want to ask you?
Characters
From Waterford?
from the area or from
Any old characters? Besides yourself.
And I see now.
Do you remember any fellas? Because especially up around Costello's Lane,
Oh, the arches.
I'd say there was a few head cases.
Oh, they were by. There was Stab the Rasher, there was Ikiaki, and I'll tell you about them too. And Matty Creed had a shed up there, and Ikiaki used to be always with him up there, you see, and they were catching linnets in my grandparents' garden. You know, they had seed down, and they had a net there, you see, and And Mr. Burns was down the road. He used to keep linnets and everything else. And if you
Songbirds.
yeah, songbirds, yeah. But there were wild birds as well. But they always up Costello's Day now. There used to be cages on nearly every house up there was a songbird. It's either a finch or a linnet. But we were there this day anyway, and the net was set, and Ikiaki was out, and he's looking around. And the next thing was, nothing came. They went in for their dinner. And the very minute, you swear the birds knew they were going in for their dinner. You see, a big flock of them came along. And I sneaked out and I pulled the net, you see. And I took out about 12 cocks. I had no cock linnet and all. They'd have the red chest, you know. Because I used to go out sometimes with Mr. Burns to catch him out by Skippereen. And I took a dozen of them. And Mr. Burns would give you 3 halfpence for one. You know, and I got 1 and 6 off of him anyway for the 3 halves. But after I'd taken out the dozen, I was after putting them in a box, you see. I went and after pulling the net, and he went out, and they only got about 3 cocks. I had a con them, you know. And anyway, I shot out. Ikiaki, I said, many did you get? And he ran up and he caught me up like that. And who was coming down anyway? Only another fella. Used to call him Stab the Rasher. And I said, stab the Rasher. And he went over me and I ran away. I don't know what happened after that.
What did he look like?
Huh?
What did he look like?
Oh, what did he look like? Just an ordinary guy, like, you know what I mean? But that's the way they were. Everybody had... Sure, they used to call me Joey Brown and all, and, you know... Everybody had nicknames.
Okay.
So...
What was Stab the Rasher like?
Huh?
What was he like?
Oh, just he'd kill you. he wouldn't... That's what they used to only just call him, and split the wind, you know, fellas.
Split the wind? Stab the Rasher, was he all there? Like, was he all...
Oh, look, they were all there, but the girls used to be after everybody, and nobody knew anybody's name. That was the trick. Yeah. I don't know. That was Stab the Rasher. That's what you say, you see. Who's he to be saying? There used to be tossing then as well up there, you know, at the Yellow Road corner. And anyway, the money was on the ground one Sunday anyway, and they all head up, a harp and a head, you see. It has to be either 2 harps or 2 heads if you want to do in. You back a harp or a head, but it keeps heading up like that. You know, nobody wins until there's either the 2 harps or the 2 heads, you see. But anyway, Gubby Coleman, he was a guard at the time, and he was coming up. He was coming up on the bike, and he's coming up slow, you see, and the boys were rushing, head up, and the money wasn't happening, you see. And he was at the dairy then, that's only about 50 years, the outside the men, and they all dives in, and 2 shillings ran out for me. I got 2 shillings. I gave my mother a shilling now. That's the way it was, like, you know. We were playing ball up there, another night, and Keon Connery was taking a corner over on the Yellow Road, you know. He had a little rubber ball, and we were all at Daddy Shea's gate. That's the fella used to make the barrels, you know. That was the goal. And didn't the Black Maria come down Costello's Lane? And we all ran, and the other fella Kieran was taking the corner over at the far side, and the girl caught him. How you know? He says to him, wait till I take the corner, so he said.
That was really funny. Did he live up there in Congress Place then after that?
Yeah, he did, yeah. Sure, there's some queer hawks then by. Sure.
Did you play in the Public League as well?
Huh? I did. I played for Brady's down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, was that a packed team? Was that a good team?
They were all from the area. They were wasn't packed. The only team used to be packed is teams in around the town, like, you know, like Eamon Rees, Egan's, yeah, and the like of them.
Okay, well listen, that's great. Are we okay? Can we try and get Maisie out from it?
Go in and ask her yourself. If I ask her, she won't come out.
We'll need to move the chair, won't we?
Tommy O'Neill. That's the first. That's him, the second fella. Tommy Whalen. That's Jimmy Brown.
I know. Go on.
Yeah, Jimmy Brown. That's myself.
Where?
Tommy, just there.
Oh, in front?
Yeah.
All right.
No, at the back, you know,
All right.
standing.
Okay.
That's Stan O'Keefe. Jimmy Jackson. At the back of Jimmy Jackson, that's the Bull Cavan you used to be down the park.
All right.
And
The
front-
parky. He was a parky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's Jimmy Smith. Used to call him Shad. Mickey Nugent. Henry Nugent. Josie Carr. And I forget that chap's name. That's about 1955, like, you know.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
You know, so
And what's this one here?
me, Damien and John.
And where's this? This is kind of like.
That was Shell House down in Dungarvan.
All right. And was that an inspiration for you?
What?
Was that an inspiration for
Yeah,
you?
it was in a way, yeah.
Because
You know.
again, that was done by somebody down there who just.
Yeah, I see. Shell Cottage, I think they used
Yes.
to call it.
Yeah.
You know, so.
It was really interesting.
Johnny Phelan, Paddy Breen, Paddy Power, John Doyle, Tommy Welch, Michael Butler, James Doyle, Matty Evans, myself, Morris, I'll tell you, I'll think about it in a minute. Tony O'Brien, Jerry Flanagan, Jimmy Whalen, Paddy Thompson, Christy Barrett.
And what year was that now?
Just I don't know.
Roughly.
That was roughly. Shall we work? I'd say no. Jeez, it must be 50 years ago. I'd say.
Okay.
And
You
what is the group photo for?
That's the Jumpville Football Club. That's the trophies. That was at our annual. That was our annual due.
So you won all those trophies that year?
Yeah, we won all them trophies that year. Yeah.
Jesus, it must have been some team in that stage.
They were brilliant. Now I have to say that.
So is this Otter's as well?
Yeah, most of them are orphans now.
Okay. What's this club here?
That's let me see. Yeah, that's orphans again.
Alright.
Yeah. They're all the lads in the street here, 5 sides.
They're fine. Go for
Okay,
it.
please tell us.
My father is on the right.
Yeah, point,
Actually,
no,
point
point,
back.
put your
Oh,
finger in.
sorry. My father is there. That's his brother. That's my father's mother. That's her two sisters.
And when you said your father's mother, what would her name be?
Johanna Whelan
Okay. No, but what was her name then before she got married?
O'Reilly.
All right, Johanna O'Reilly.
Yeah.
And her two sisters, what were their names?
Her name was Nancy. They were living on the Cork Road. They were well to do. They had plenty of money.
Yeah.
They were nothing like us. And I don't know who she is. I think that was her. I don't know what her name is.
Okay, and where was that picture taken?
That was taken in Johnstown, where they lived, where my
Okay.
nanny lived in Johnstown, by Keneally's pub there,
All right.
the mansion.
Okay.
That's myself, my mother, and my sister Joan, and geez, I don't know which one that is. I think that's one of her daughters. I think, I don't know.
And your mother, what was her maiden name again?
Jane Simpson.
Okay, and where was that picture taken?
I don't know. I think in one of the hotels. I say I don't know.
All right, so it was a bit of something
Yeah.
at some do or other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a victory parade. They were after winning some competition. I don't know what the competition was because I wasn't in the band, like, you know.
Yeah.
So that was taken from Dial Street over across the way.
Okay.
That's Cosgrove Lane now. That
Where did you live?
one, the second house we lived in.
Okay. And you played football there?
Oh, we used to play there. Well, Father Farrell came up one night and we were playing Dial Street in a match at 7 o'clock that night, and he came up during the day and we were practicing, you know, with the little rubber ball. And he came along and he said, lads, he said, confraternity is tonight, he said, and I expect to see you all there. And they all said, yeah, we are going. He said, how about you, Cav? He says to me. And I said, I'm not going, I said. And he said, why? Because we're playing Dial Street at 7 o'clock. I said, no. And anyway, says he, I think he says, you're the only, what do you,
Heathen.
huh? No, you're the only honest fella here. and I was too, because the match was on. That's the way he
Nobody was
like.
going to the confraternity.
Yeah. That's at the back of, there were two shops up there, Nellie Dillon's and Bridget Chasty's, and that was their backs, you know what I mean? And that was the end of Costello's Lane. That's when they started to, building all the new houses up there, you know.
Weird to know that.
Yeah, and that's all you have.
Where you were brought up was gone now. Where's this now?
That's just coming out at the top of Costello's Lane and onto Dial Street, you know. That the people that lived in that house, I remember when I was young, they didn't pay the rent, and all that furniture was fired out of the house.
Go away.
That house there.
So they were evicted?
They were evicted, yeah.
By the council?
By the council, yeah.
Jeez.
That's the way it was then.
And there's a very old photograph here, Tommy. What's this one?
Can you tell us who it is? Or what's the picture of?
The picture of that's the children from the lane, and that's my mother. She was probably minding our youngest. You know what I mean? And they're all the children from the lane. Don't ask me who they are. That's.
Who took the picture, Tommy? Was this kind of like an old photograph that someone restored or something?
Yeah, that's it.
Who are they again, sorry?
Tell us who they are again.
That's my grandfather.
What was his name?
John Kavanagh.
Okay.
And her name is, I don't know, O'Reilly anyway is her second name, like, you know. We used to only say my grandmother, like, you know, so you wouldn't call them by their name when you're young.
Where did they live at that stage?
They lived down the Baldine in the middle of Phillip Street.
All right.
See, there's the all new houses over there now, but it was called the Baldine then.
Yeah, so it's kind of a green there now, isn't it?
Yeah, there is.
Or car park.
Yeah, car park. It kind of goes in around.
So
it's
there's
just
like
above the school.
There was like a little terrace there, was there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go again?
And what did he work at?
He worked up in the quarry, I told you.
Oh, yeah. So he was a strong man then.
Oh, he was, yeah.
So he'd have to swing a sledgehammer or something.
Oh, it's just he was into all that kind of stuff, like, you know.
Who is it again, sorry?
That's my grandfather, John Kavanagh. No, that's Larry Condon, and actually I don't know the girl now. That's in Bjorn. I don't know who that is. That's my sister anyway. I don't know who that is. Okay. That's me grandfather again, and I don't know who the young fella is.
That's your grandfather again?
Yeah.
That's a good shot though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Which one do you want?
That one.
Right. Ended it. That's Jean Condon and Kathleen, my sister. I don't know who the rest of the girls are.
So they're all their friends.
Yeah. That's me nanny again. Maisie, I can't do anything about it.
But we're nearly gone.
Who will be these?
That's his brother, Tommy Tellis.
Yeah, that's Nate, my brother Nate Kavanagh, and my mother, Jane Kavanagh.
Okay.
So we leave it at that because...
Yeah.
Of course.
You ready?
That's Billy Simpson, and that's Philip Simpson, and I don't know which of the Simpsons that is now because there are about 8 of them in it. And I think that's my sister Kathleen. That might be me, I don't know.
And where was that taken?
That was taken in the back garden in Costello's Lane years ago.
All right.
You know.
It's a great photograph.
Yeah.